Your ball doesn't go into the street.
we're gonna stop with the nostalgia train. We're going to go to Cyanide versus Kreeg.
Oh, speaking of balling, yeah, we got these two players right here. We got Kreeg out on deck, one of Utah's finest. Fire Emblem character specialist has recently been opting for a lot of Marth over Roy, but he's also been a PR player in Utah with Roy. Cyanide, also a fantastic player in their own right. I've seen that Toon Link do some work. Wait, so we've got the hero versus the Roy. And I don't know how deep Cyanide's pockets go, but Kreeg is a fantastic swordy character specialist. I'm very, very excited to see what he's got. And that roll read right there from Kreeg, getting that first stock off that down tilt.
Yeah, it's so easy to think about Utah. It's like, oh yeah, it's just Send and nobody
Yeah.
else. It's like, no, when you play with someone like Send, they have to play people too, right?
Sure.
So obviously they're going to adapt to them and get better as a result. And Send, I mean, definitely iron sharpening iron. Kreeg taking games off of people like Matt Bro.
Yeah.
And indeed, like, it takes Send
He's
to
insane.
game 5. Took a game off, took a few sets off of Splash Daddy as well. So something to be said about that. 2 stocks to 2 Cyanide, no slouching of themselves as their Toon Link is certainly looking to show here.
This was the character I'm expecting to do the most work from Cyanide. It's just you know, if your main is good enough to supplement your pockets, you know, you can get those stocks off no problem. I don't know how much Ike XP that Kreeg has, but my man loves swordies. He loves Ike. This can be a little tough though for Cyanide. You know, Ike has so much range on that sword. And that landing there is going to be such a powerful tool to mitigate this neutral for Kreeg in this situation. And you can already tell Cyanide, a lot of these rolls on ground, you know, Toon Link's best mobility, some of his ground mobility. You have to be very careful when you're up against a character like Ike that can punch you. Really nice tender grab right there. Little yoink right there. That was good.
Cyanide, Toon Link main, but you saw, I mean,
oh my god.
Just according to their Smash data, they equally go Greninja as well. So I mean, it's you could say if you know them for their Toon Link, I guess that makes it so. But just enough being done with that giant water shuriken to take the swordy off of the stage, and now out comes the Marth, as you said. Maybe the one that's in favor right now.
Yeah, Kreeg has been going a lot of Marth for like specific matchups. I don't know why. I guess he's one of the few players that sees the potential within Marth. And if you're playing against a Marth player, I'd be shook. You cannot be bad if you're playing Marth, literally. This character requires too much knowledge of spacing, how to operate with tippers, and just the raw fundamentals you need to play a floaty sword character like Marth and Lucina. So it's gotta be kind of tough for Cyanide right here because you have to play so carefully. I know it's said a lot by players that they excel against swordy characters like Marth or Lucina, but man, Kreeg is just cut from a different cloth.
And cutting more than just cloth in that game, number one. That fastball nair comes out quick as lightning, it feels like, and that's going to be game number 1 in favor of the man from Utah.
It's true.
Now, Cyanide, not a bad player in of themselves. I mean, we were talking up DFW quite a bit, but it should be noted Houston has a
They've got a good scene as well.
In of itself. I mean,
players like Trella.
I was just about to say Trella, just kind of who you
Guy
think
put
of when you
Houston
think
on the map.
right?
He put Houston on the map. I feel like back in Smash 4. I don't know about Brawl because I wasn't not a Brawl kid. I'm a
playing Ridley for a little bit, but like pretty much kind of. I don't know if the discussion was ever really had. I always kind of like looked at Trella as the standard for Ridley play at the very least, and maybe not making the results perhaps that they wanted to on a consistent basis, but still always making noise, certainly making their presence felt here at Low Tide City as we go back to Town and City for game number 2. Is Cyanide going to try to get themselves on the board at the expense of this very well practiced?
Oh yeah, I'm already seeing a fat 50 just come out from Kreeg right there. And man, Cyanide opting for hero as your starter is often a risky endeavor because you only got 1 stock. You know, the spell usage really the RNG's got to be blessed. You got to be able to manage your air. Yeah, especially against a character like Roy that can go toe to toe with you in airspeed. You know, your committals may not be as safe as they would be on other characters that are a little more floaty. That being said, Kreeg taking a brief nap off stage right there. I love that up B right there from Cyanide. That was really good. And no! That's going to hit him! No. He's going to die at 72 off of that whack right there. That's the best opening you could hope for, honestly, if you're Cyanide right there, taking one of Kreeg's heavy hitters right off the bat.
You said the RNG had to be blessed. What more do you want, Fang?
There you go. The commentator's blessing / commentator's curse. That's also a form of RNG. Oh my god!
I suppose so.
Oh, he's going nuts.
The commentator's curse is real, except when it's not. But the bang is going to come out. And, yeah, just searching through the menu, looking through whatever they want, and eventually, yeah, okay, the literary portion of the program is over.
Not the time to read.
Yeah, reading Rainbow is kind of done. It's time to get to the action portion here.
Sometimes classes in session, but still, really good boomerang to fair right there by Cyanide. And now it's Kreeg left on the Marth right here. We're gonna see how clutch this Marth is against what seems to be one of Cyanide's best characters right here.
Yeah, as you mentioned prior, kind of known for their Toon Link, and again doing pretty well for themselves.
That's how I know them, at least.
Hey, you know what? They've made themselves known for quite a bit.
Well, yeah, they got some good W's.
Wins in people like Boneman, Animacon, and Morio at Zora Coliseum. That was just over the past month. And I mean, just in terms of recent results, maybe the names aren't like gargantuan, but at the same time, it's
what a stall by Kreeg. I'm sorry to interrupt you right
there.
That was just an incredible stall by Kreeg right there to keep him alive off stage right there. He got nicked by the upbeat and looked like it was going to be curtains if he overshot that ledge once more, but that side B stall, so good to keep him back in this action right here.
This is kind of crazy. Like, even though you could definitely say like people were practicing for this in of itself, almost like a learning opportunity in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's your warm-up for the main bracket. It's Cyanide. I mean, looking like, yeah, that Toon Link is about bracket ready, if I'm being completely real.
For sure.
But now they're going to be playing game number 3, bracket life on the line. This is where the pressure truly mounts, Fang.
And that's that hero. Stu, I absolutely think it was that hero that really blew the gates wide open for Cyanide right there, you know, because you want your starter character to at least go even or trade a stock off if they can. You know, if you're looking to make more room for the more substantial parts of your team, being able to trade a stock, it's like a crew battle, but you're the only person in it. With 3 of your characters. So you want to make sure you can get that trade off. And my man got some huge bang for his buck right there. And that Toon Link just being able to clean things up super nicely. Kreeg may have to rethink his format right here, or just think how is he exactly going to open up Cyanide, because with the more floatier sortie in Marth, I can see characters like Toon Link or Greninja really taking nice advantage of them, especially if they decide to patrol more in the air than, you know, stay grounded using tilts and just trying to play spacing game really, really well. Game 3 though, Stu.
Yeah.
Oh,
hold on.
Hold on now.
What part of no pause did you people not get?
I'm out here. Yeah, turn pause off. What are you doing?
Okay, that's a little ironic for your first.
Then again, this is the, yeah, it's true. This is the squad strike rule set though, so I'm assuming maybe they didn't think to turn pause off for this. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but
we did see someone just completely forget to select their name, so that could very well
be
the
too.
case.
You never know. So I think though, if you forget to select your name, there is a screen you can quit out in. It's not this one. No, this is the screen you can quit out in.
Yeah. No, I mean, they pressed some buttons. They got back here. It's all
good. What the heck? Okay, they're just using random as a placeholder. They're still going with the same format.
Yeah, probably. All right. Well,
I wonder if homie knows that you can select the characters out. You didn't have to put your character back. You could choose the order when you're about to start, but maybe my man just wanted to show his hand out right away.
Yeah, hey, it's just as valid as anything else. You're thinking like, wait, are they just gonna go with the same thing?
Maybe.
It's the mind games, man.
Yeah.
Some games are won and lost before a button is even pressed in the match.
And that's why mental's so important. You know,
exactly.
you need to make sure you have the mental fortitude to keep up. You need to make sure you're eating so your blood sugar is not low, or you know, mental wins you this game as much as your execution does. You know, you have to have solid fundamentals in game. But if your mental's complete dog water, you're not going to be able to really excel as a player.
I mean, if you're familiar with the low-tier city lore, just making sure that you're eating enough glue.
Oh, that's right. That happened at this tournament.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
LTC. Hey, where's that held? Where's that held, bro?
Texas.
Yeah, so it's going to be Cyanide and Kreeg playing for their bracket lives here. Advantage Cyanide early on, trying to get back, and yeah, that's the whole trouble with Roy. When you turn the game into a bullet hell, there's not a whole lot they can do about it except hold their sword and pray. Cyanide leading off with the Toon Link, and at 29% takes their first head in this decisive game.
Sure, with Toon Link out first is a bold play, right? Because my man wants to go for the neck at this point. Either he randomly chose the order, or it was like Toon Link needs to go first because this is good the character that's blowing open games right here. And we did see Kreeg with this Ike manage to vanquish the Toon Link game 1, keeping what else even. So you know, it's about the matchup as well as, you know, how you play against the player.
Oh,
I cannot believe it. That was definitely a misinput, but he let it ride. He was maybe hoping for a shield break or something more substantial there. But Kreeg has to watch these landings. Jesus. Almost got killed right there.
It's like you're not going to do the best in that particular situation. Certainly there are players who have made this work, but Kreeg ain't gonna be that in this one. Cyanide, the Toon Link. You know what? I'll just call him the Toon Link. you won me over there.
You got
pal.
it. I'm telling you. That's what I know him for. So, all right, though, we finally get the edge guard of Kreeg, and man, you got one stock against a fresh 2 stocks against a character like Hero, where literally anything could happen. You can get hit for even the most minute of mistakes right here.
And you gotta say, I mean, you have dealt with the Hero before, but you haven't really done it a whole lot as Marth in this instance. So something to be said about Kreeg going up against the element of unfamiliarity here.
Especially if you don't manage your disadvantage correctly, you can be caught with the spell right there. I'm liking how Cyanide's been managing these spells right now, though. Just kind of quitting out of them and opting to go for an anti-air right there. As soon as he realizes that Kreeg is trying to land right on top of him. And again! He's killed by it again! Twice in this set. Stu, you gotta make sure you ace your English classes. You gotta make sure you're able to read and be cognizant of what spells could be used against you immediately. Because Kreeg had the full commitment right there. He had no time to react. He had no time to read the spell right there. And whack. Just coming right out there, messing up his entire day. Man, what a way for that set to end.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That's that's a little brutal. No, Kreeg, I mean, it was not for a lack of effort on their part. But when you get called out so consistently going to the platform, I would think after the 3rd or 4th time, maybe you stop doing that. But, I mean, that's Cyanide is there, ready to react with that Hero. And when you have to create your own luck at the end of the day. Maybe the game doesn't say that, but it's what allows you to open up the options that the menu provides for you. So at that point, yeah, you're just going to have to succumb to it. You get whacked at double digits, like mid percent, really. And
getting whacked, no Sopranos.
Oh, absolutely.
Don put out an order on your head. You got to go. Sorry.
Hey, we bring Tri-State to use, is what we're saying. So
forget about it.
Yeah, already know. Yeah. What's up? So I shouldn't be doing that. I'm Irish. Either way, I'm Mazers do the announcer here with No Pause Tournament Spangs. We'll see how long that lasts.
Whoa!
If you're gonna
Coming
be
for
making
my
the Mafia
neck already,
bro,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I do it to everyone though, so don't worry about it. Just ask Disco, man. Just ask Disco. If you watched the Turning Locator stream earlier, you know.